Welcome YouTube customer. This video try to explain how REST client connect to MVIS REST server. In this video, I will using Java, Python, and C# REST client connect to MVIS REST server. So from this topic, you will see you have the client, maybe you have web server on the client, connect to MVIS REST servers. It can be using the Java, Python, and .NET. Connect to the server. You can see another layer. You can how REST client talk to your application server, then talk to MVIS. Then we provide two ways. We call it data resources or subroutine resources. So you can either way read the data from the file or call the subroutine to get the data back. So before you can call the subroutine or read the data, you need to run MVIS administrator to set up your environment. Because we want to demo, show you to call the subroutine, so we also need the subroutine compiled and catalog on the server side. For simple demo, this the subroutine called MEMBERSSUB. Basically, is input the member ID and return back is the JSON data format. The next step, you need to define the data resources and subroutine resources. Also need to specify the input parameter and output parameter. After you set the server environment ready, then I have a 5 demo program to show you each one how you work with MVIS REST server. The first one is called Java program. Is work with the data resources. It's the state file. The second one will be subroutines resources, or basically called MEMBERSSUB subroutine. The third one is a Python program, same thing using the data resources to call the state file. The fourth demo, we're using Python subroutine resources, use same program called MEMBERSSUB. The last one is using the C# program. Basically, they need to use NuGet to install the RestSharp package to work with the REST client. This one also is called MEMBERSSUB. So from beginning, you need to have the program. For my demo, I connect to XDemo. Then in the XDemo, I create one program called MEMBERSSUB. So if you look at the program called Members, so this is the simple program. You just input the ID, then you can output is the JSON format. So that's the sample code like this: subroutine input ID, and you run the list command and ask you to return the JSON output. Before you can make sure everything subroutine is working, then you can compile it, members, So it's compiled successful. Then you can catalog. So that's the already compiled. You just override it. So make sure this subroutine is working right. So I created another main program to test this sample program. Basically, I input the ID and call the subroutine and print the output. So you will see this subroutine is successful, compiled, and cataloged. This is on Universe server. So next step, we need to using the MVIS administrator tool. For this one, we have a demo system. So just log in. So when you log in this, then you will see they have several options. One, if this the server REST server is 7171 is running. Inside this, they have server configuration. So you can see they define access point on this test machine. And also, I create a particular user called test1 user, and password I can do whatever I want for testing to create a called HTTP user is test1 and provide the password. Also, we setting the account. For this account, we call TRX_UV_X_demo. Inside this account is running, then also have a data resources. So it's on this server already have couple file. For right now, I just want to test the state file on XDemo account. So we already define called data resources on the state file. Also, I created subroutine resources. So for subroutine, I just mentioned about already have called members. So if you looking for this the definition, so because the MEMBERSSUB have two parameters. The first parameter is the input is ID, is the string data. The output is the records, but I define the data format is the JSON format. It must be matched. Otherwise, you will get an error. So make sure all the setting is correct. So after you set this one successful, you have access control, HTTP user, and data resources, and subroutine resources. After environment setup correct on the MVIS server, right now I can do couple testing. First, I like to see the data source is working right or not. So first, I can show you this one is using this one. I using the state file and try to read the CO records. So you see the record is correct coming back from MVIS server. Another one, I tried to testing the URL for the MEMBERSSUB subroutine. So for this one, so you input the ID. So for example, I know have ID 0312, so I can get the result back successful. First time, if you log into this website, it will ask you your HTTP username and password is defined on the MVIS HTTP user. So after you set everything is correct, then we can try to test my sample program. The first one we call the is Java program. I using the get u2 rest get.java program. Inside this program, you need to specify the username, password, then using the basic authentication method to log in your web MVIS server. So that's the source code to how you work on the data resources on the state file. So how you work? So here's the run it, the demo. So this demo I can show you. The first one is called u2 rest get. u2 rest get is just the input the CO. So it's the already defined. It is already is a CO ID is CO and get the one record data back. So that's the first demo to show you how you using the get on the data resources on the Java sample program. The second one I like to using a post to call the MEMBERSSUB subroutine. Same thing, you will need the username password to authentication. Then this time using the post, then you can input the ID, then you can return the data back. So that's the source code. You see that's the sample source code like this. So using the post method to get the data back. So next one, the next demo will be u2 rest post. So this one inside the program already put the ID 0312 to return output back is the JSON data format. So if you see the program, sample program, I already put the ID is hard-coded for this demo. So will be 0312 to return the data back. Yeah, here is the parameter ID 0312. So it's hard-coded, so you will return the data back. The third demo, I will use in the Python program. Python program using HTTP libs too. So if your Python version does not have HTTP lib2, you can install this package with your Python environment. So same thing, the first one, the demo 3, basically using this link, send link, then state, and this one you can provide the which state code you want to get. So I will show you this the sample code pretty simple using the get function to get the whatever the state ID data. So next demo you will see is use the Python code. So this time I can use in California CA. So you are coming back is California data. So it's using the get method with the Python sample. The first demo I will show you is using the post with the Python. So you will see this one is same thing, use the post method to get the subroutine output. So let's just the sample code pretty straightforward. You see the same thing. You need to provide the credential like a username, password, then send a post request. Then you can get the data back. So for this one, I can show you. You can see how we run it. The Python code called the subroutine. So inside this subroutine, you can 0312 so get the the members, the first name, last name data back. The last demo I will show you is using C#. My test environment is running Visual Studio 2017. I just create a very simple console program, and from the console program from beginning, you need to using the NuGet to install the REST client. So after you install the REST client, you need to have a reference called RestSharp client. Inside the RestSharp client, you need to add the two using two reference. One is RestSharp, another is for authentificators. So this one, you can see this is a sample program. You will call the members subroutine. So also need to using the authenticator to provide a username and password. So after this, and on this demo program is hard-coded to get the 0312, the record back. So after this, I will show you the program is pretty simple. The last one is console program. After running, you see you will get the same data back using the C# RestSharp package to get the data back. So that's a file demo. All file demo you can download from the web. Inside this video, YouTube video description field, I already put the link there. You can download from there. I hope you can enjoy this video and start using any REST client to connect MVIS REST server.